This is not a standard military inventory. It is a mixture of 40-year-old Soviet relics and billions of dollars worth of captured American equipment. This is the arsenal that took back Afghanistan. These are the weapons of the Taliban. Let's begin. Handguns, officer weapons. Makarov PM, the Soviet legacy. This is the most common sidearm in Taliban hands, inherited from decades of Soviet occupation and civil war. Small, simple, and virtually indestructible in desert conditions, it fires the 9x18mm Makarov cartridge. Thousands remain in circulation from Cold War stockpiles, making it the standard backup weapon for commanders and vehicle crews. Beretta M9, the American trophy. This is the captured U.S. military sidearm found on high-ranking Taliban commanders after the 2021 withdrawal. Thousands were left behind in Afghan National Army armories along with holsters, magazines, and ammunition. The 15-round capacity and NATO 9mm chambering make it a prized status symbol among senior fighters. Tokarev TT-33, the penetrator. This is an ancient Soviet design firing a high-velocity 7.62 by 25mm round capable of defeating soft body armor. Despite being designed in the 1930s, it remains in widespread use due to its extreme reliability and armor-piercing capability. The simple blowback mechanism works even when clogged with sand and dust. Browning High Power, the mercenary. This is the classic Belgian pistol found across Afghanistan for decades. Reliable and featuring a 13-round magazine, it is often seen in the hands of foreign fighters and veteran commanders. Many entered Afghanistan through Pakistani intelligence services during the Soviet war in the 1980s. Glock 19, the modern capture. This is the Austrian pistol captured from Afghan police and special forces units. Lightweight polymer construction and 17-round capacity make it highly desirable. Taliban special units actively seek these weapons, and captured Glocks often appear in propaganda videos as symbols of victory over Western forces. Assault rifles, the infantry backbone. AKM, the eternal warrior. This is the most common weapon in Afghanistan, present since the Soviet invasion. Stamped steel construction makes it cheap to produce and virtually indestructible in harsh conditions. Millions flooded into the country through Pakistan during the 1980s, and the rifle continues to be sourced from captured stocks, black markets, and buried caches. Type 56, the Chinese Spike. This is the Chinese copy of the AK-47, easily identified by its permanently attached folding bayonet. Hundreds of thousands were supplied to Afghan mujahideen by Chinese intelligence during the Soviet war. The distinctive spike bayonet makes it a favorite for propaganda photographs and close-quarters combat. M16A4, the captured standard. This is the American service rifle looted by the thousands from Afghan National Army depots during the 2021 collapse. Accurate and effective with its 20-inch barrel, many Taliban fighters struggle to maintain them compared to the simpler AK platform. The requirement for specific 5.56mm NATO ammunition limits their widespread use. M4 Carbine, the elite trophy. This is the shorter carbine variant prized by Taliban special forces. Equipped with optics like ACOG and EOTech sights, these were captured from Afghan commando units. The 14.5-inch barrel and collapsible stock make it ideal for vehicle crews and urban combat, though ammunition scarcity limits deployment. AK-74, the Soviet evolution. This is the updated Kalashnikov firing the smaller 5.45 by 39mm cartridge. Left behind by Soviet forces in 1989, these rifles offer flatter trajectories and less recoil than the AKM. The orange Bakelite magazines are distinctive, though ammunition is less common than the ubiquitous 7.62 by 39mm round. AKS-74U, the Krink. This is the compact carbine highly valued by Taliban leadership and vehicle crews. The short 8.3-inch barrel produces massive muzzle flash and blast but allows operation in confined spaces. Originally designed for Soviet paratroopers and vehicle crews, it has become a status symbol carried by senior commanders. M249 saw the looted support. This is the American squad automatic weapon captured from coalition supplies. It provides high-volume 5.56mm fire from belt or magazine, though logistics difficulties with ammunition often force Taliban fighters to abandon them. When properly supplied, it offers devastating suppressive fire capability. Precision rifles, urban terror. Dragunov SVD, the marksman. This is the standard designated marksman rifle, allowing squads to engage targets beyond 650 yards. Semi-automatic and reliable, it fires the 7.62 by 54 mm cartridge through a 21.7-inch barrel. The PSO-1 scope provides 4 times magnification, and the rifle has been in Taliban hands since the Soviet War. M24 SWS, the American Precision. This is the captured U.S. military sniper system featuring a Remington 700 action-chambered in 7.62 mm NATO. Highly accurate with a Leupold scope, these were used by Afghan National Army snipers before being captured. Taliban marksmen employ them to target coalition forces and government officials at ranges exceeding 800 yards. Lee Enfield, the colonial relic. This is the British bolt-action rifle dating back to World War I, still seeing combat. Despite being over a century old, the .303 British cartridge remains lethal, and the 10-round magazine capacity exceeds most modern bolt guns. Thousands remain in tribal areas, passed down through generations and kept functional through improvised maintenance. Mosin-Nagant, the Soviet antique. This is the World War II-era bolt-action rifle firing the powerful 7.62 by 54 mm cartridge. Despite its age, the heavy round and simple design keep it in use for long-range harassment fire. Many were supplied during the Soviet occupation and survived through minimal maintenance requirements and ammunition commonality with the Dragunov. Machine guns, sustained fire. PKM, the King. This is the most valuable squad weapon in the Taliban arsenal. This belt-fed Russian machine gun firing 7.62 by 54 mm is reliable, powerful, and essential for any offensive operation. The 25-pound weight with bipod makes it portable, while the 650 round per minute cyclic rate provides devastating suppressive fire. RPK, the squad automatic. This is essentially a heavy-barreled AK-47 fed from 40-round magazines or 75-round drums. It bridges the gap between rifleman and heavy machine gunner, providing sustained fire at the squad level. The parts commonality with the AKM simplifies logistics, and the weapon is ubiquitous across Afghanistan. DSHK, the Dushka. This is the massive 12.7 by 108 mm heavy machine gun, almost always mounted on pickup truck technicals. Originally designed as anti-aircraft weapon, it serves as mobile artillery shredding infantry and light vehicles. The 600 round per minute rate of fire and armor-piercing capability make it devastating against unarmored targets. M240B, the NATO standard. This is the captured American general-purpose machine gun firing 7.62 mm NATO from disintegrating belts. Weighing 27.6 pounds, it provides reliable sustained fire, though ammunition logistics limit widespread Taliban use. When properly supplied, the 650 to 950 round per minute cyclic rate offers exceptional firepower. ZU-23-2, the anti-everything. This is the twin-barreled 23 mm autocannon originally designed for anti-aircraft use. The Taliban mount these on trucks and use them almost exclusively against ground targets. The 2,000 round per minute combined rate of fire from both barrels shreds infantry, light vehicles, and fortifications with terrifying effectiveness. Anti-tank weapons, armor killers. RPG-7, the universal killer. This is the iconic rocket-propelled grenade found everywhere in Afghanistan. Simple, reliable, and devastatingly effective, it fires an 85 mm warhead capable of penetrating over 12 inches of armor. Taliban workshops manufacture their own warheads when Russian supplies run low, and the weapon has destroyed countless coalition vehicles. RPG-29 Vampire, the tank destroyer. This is the heavy tandem-charge rocket capable of defeating modern main battle tanks. The two-stage warhead first defeats reactive armor, then the main charge penetrates the underlying steel. Taliban forces used these to destroy American MRAPs and Strykers, with the 105 mm warhead punching through advanced armor systems. At 4, the disposable. This is the Swedish-designed single-shot anti-tank weapon captured from coalition and Afghan forces. Weighing only 14.7 pounds, it is easy to carry and fires an 84 mm high-explosive anti-tank warhead. Taliban fighters use these for bunker busting in close urban combat, then discard the spent tube. SPG-9, the recoilless. This is the tripod-mounted recoilless gun firing a 73 mm rocket used for long-range ambushes. The effective range exceeds 1,300 yards, where an RPG-7 cannot reach. Taliban forces positioned these along mountain highways to ambush convoys, with the backblast signature making repositioning essential after firing. 9M133 Cornet, the laser beam. This is one of the most dangerous anti-tank guided missile systems in the world. Laser-guided with a range exceeding 3 miles, it is incredibly lethal against heavy armor. Taliban forces acquired these from Syrian stocks and Iranian supplies, using them to destroy American armored vehicles from positions beyond effective return fire range. Heavy support, the big guns. 82mm mortar, the indirect king. This is the standard Soviet-designed mortar firing high-explosive rounds up to 2 miles. Portable by two-man teams, it provides indirect fire support that coalition forces cannot immediately counterattack. The Taliban inherited thousands from Soviet stocks and continue to manufacture ammunition in Pakistan, making it their primary artillery system. Stinger, the sky threat. This is the American shoulder-fired surface-to-air missile that turned the tide against Soviet helicopters in the 1980s. While most are now expired or non-functional, some remain operational, forcing coalition helicopters and drones to fly at higher altitudes. The infrared seeker locks onto aircraft engine heat, and successful hits often result in complete aircraft destruction. Humvee, the captured transport. This is the American high-mobility, multipurpose wheeled vehicle captured by the thousands during the 2021 withdrawal. While many lack armor, they provide Taliban forces with mobility previously impossible. Equipped with M250 caliber machine guns or Mark 19 grenade launchers, these have transformed Taliban capabilities from insurgent force to conventional army. Conclusion: from 40-year-old Soviet relics to cutting-edge American equipment, the Taliban arsenal represents the graveyard of empires. This mix of captured hardware and Cold War surplus transformed an insurgency into the army of a nation.